Hi there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Reika and today I'll show you how to make these cute low-poly stylized cherries. Before we jump right into it, I'd just like to ask you to click on like and subscribe to support my channel, and let's start it. So I'm in a new startup file, and first of all, I'm going to click on my light and my camera, press M to move to new collection, click on new collection, call it cam and light, and create it. And I'm also going to press H, and that will hide my new folder. I move my mouse here until this crosshair appears, pull it downwards until join areas come up, and I join it with my timeline so my 3D viewport will be bigger. Right, let's click on the cube, press X and delete it. Shift A to add, mesh, UV sphere. Let's go to front view and zoom in, S to scale it down. I'm going to add the subdivision surface modifier, so Control 3, and under the modifiers where it appeared, I'll change the render level to 3. So that's great. Control A, apply the scale, and Tab to go to edit mode. Let's zoom in a little bit. First of all, I'm going to select this top vertex, turn my proportional editing on, and press G. This gray circle appears. That's my circle of influence, and whatever is inside of that circle will be influenced by what I'll do. So I'm going to press Z and start moving this vertex downwards. So you can see it doesn't just move my vertex, it moves everything around it. So I move it down like that. I'm going to turn on X-ray, go to edge mode, select this edge loop, holding down Alt and clicking one of these edges, and press S to scale and just scale it in like that. That's great. Let's go to top view, come out of X-ray mode, and I'm going to hold down Alt and click on one of these edges, so it will select the whole edge loop, but it doesn't select everything because there are some triangles on the top and the bottom, so we need to hold down Shift and Alt and select this edge loop as well. And what I'll do with the proportional editing still on, I'll press S to scale and scale it in just a little bit like that. So that looks good. I realized that I wanted to scale the other side, so I'm going to select everything, go to top view and press RZ90 like that. So that's great. Going to press 1 to go to vertex mode, select this one on the bottom and just press G and Z and pull it down a little bit like that. So that's pretty much it. Let's tab into object mode. Looks good. Right click, shade smooth. I think we can just go back to edit mode, press Ctrl R to do a loop cut here, double left click to confirm it, and press GG to slide it inwards. So there's that little spot for the stem. Let's go to front view. And what I'll do, I'm going to press Shift and right click here. That will move my 3D cursor because I want to add the new object. So Shift A to add mesh UV sphere. Press S to scale it down to about this size. Go to top view with 7 on your numpad. Press S and Y to make it nice and flat. So scale it on the Y axis. And then R to rotate it like that. Go to side view with 3 on your numpad and just R to rotate it, and then G and Y to pull it backwards just a little bit like that. Go back to front view with numpad 1, right click, shade smooth. I might just make it a little bit bigger, so S to scale it up and just have a look that it's all good. G and Y to pull it backwards. Go back to front view. I press Shift D to duplicate it and straight away press S to scale it down like that. Press G and move it somewhere like here. Go to top view and just G and Y to bring it forward like that, and just R to rotate it a little bit. Let's have a look from side view, G and Y, and then R to rotate. Okay, that looks great. Now, I'm going to click on both of these, go to front view. So to select both, select one and hold down Shift to select the other one. Press Shift D to duplicate it and pull it on the other side, somewhere like here. Go to top view, press R to rotate it, G and Y to pull it backwards a little bit. Let's have a look. That looks perfect. Okay, now I'm going to add my little cherry a mouth. So let's Shift right click somewhere around here. Shift A to add, mesh, plane, and make sure it's nice and small, like that. Go to side view with 3 on your numpad, S to scale on the Y, and make it about this big. I'm going to move my 3D cursor out of the way, so shift right click somewhere out. Press Ctrl A to apply the scale. Tab into edit mode and do a loop cut with Ctrl R, and with the wheel of my mouse, I'll add some extra loop cuts. Make sure there's one where the origin point is, right in the middle, and then double click to confirm it. Go to edge mode, select the middle edge. With proportional editing is still on, press G and Z, make the circle of influence smaller, and just make a smile shape like that. Then select these two edges, press G and Y to pull them backward like that. That looks good. Okay, tab back into object mode. Let's go to your modifiers, add modifier, generate, and you want to add a solidify modifier and just make it nice and thick. And then Ctrl 3 to add the subdivision surface modifier. Make sure that the render level is also on 3. Right click, shade smooth. Now you can add some thickness if you want to, or make it a little bit thinner. It's absolutely up to you. Let's go to side view. I'm going to press S to scale on the Y, R to rotate it like that, and G and Y move it forward. Let's go to front view, maybe S to scale on the X and G and Z to bring it up to somewhere like this. So that's pretty cute. Now let's add the stem. So what I'll do, I'll click somewhere around here. Shift right click to move my 3D cursor there. Shift A to add, mesh, cylinder. And here in this pop-up menu, I change the vertices to 6. Zoom out a little bit. Or Y 90 to rotate my cylinder, and S to scale it down to about this big. I'll just zoom in. Move my 3D cursor away so you can see. Ctrl A, apply rotation and scale. Tab into edit mode. Ctrl R and make a loop cut right in the middle. 3 to go to face mode, and Alt Z to turn on X-ray, and make sure you select this whole side. Press X, delete faces. Step back into object mode, add modifier, generate, mirror. It mirrors on the x-axis, so you can see it's already mirrored it for me there. Now we will turn clipping on, but not just yet. So let's tab into edit mode, and I'm going to select this bottom face. Go back to front view, press E to extrude, and then G to move it this way. Now let's zoom in a little bit too much. I'm going to go to edge mode because there is a face missing. So click on this edge, shift click on this edge and press F to fill. So that's great. Go back to front view. First, go back to face mode and select this bottom face. And now go back to front view. Press S to scale it down. You can turn off proportional editing now. And you can also turn on clipping. Right. E to extrude again. G to move it like that, R to rotate it, E to extrude, G, R, and then E to extrude once more, G, and here we go, and then E to extrude once more, press G and move it there. Okay, go to vertex mode with 1, select all these vertices on the top, turn proportional editing back on, press S to scale, and you want to influence almost all of it, and just scale it up a little bit like that. And then these ones, actually just the bottom ones, S to scale and scale it down like that. Okay, great. Let's step back into object mode, turn off X-ray, Ctrl 3 to add the subdivision surface modifier, right click, shade smooth. Make sure the render level is also on 3, and that's great. I'm going to move my 3D cursor here, so shift right click to move it there. Shift A to add mesh, and I'll add the plane. Press G and X to move it here. And I think this is a good size. We can always scale it down a little bit later. So tab into edit mode, 7 to go to top view, Ctrl R and make 6 or 7 loop cuts like that. Stay in vertex mode, select these and press S to scale it. Oh, proportional editing should be off. S to scale on the Y and scale it down nice and small like that. And now turn proportional editing back on. Select these, press S to scale and scale it down like that. It can be a little bit smaller even. And then select these two vertices, S to scale it down and make the circle of influence a little bit bigger. Okay, that's great. Let's do a loop cut here in the middle. Control R, do a loop cut, turn up proportional editing, press G and Z and just pull it downwards a little bit like this. And then in edge mode, so press 2, select just this one edge, turn the proportional editing back on, press G and Z and start pulling it down and make the circle of influence a lot smaller like that. So that's it, that looks good. That's our little leaf. Tab back into object mode, right click, set origin to 3D cursor. Let's add the modifier, generate solidify. And I think this already looks good, but let's add a subdivision surface modifier first. So Ctrl 3 and change the render level to 3 as well. And now you can add a little bit more thickness to it like this. 0.02 should be fine. Right click, shade smooth. I'm gonna go back to top view and press S to scale it down just a little bit. And tap back into edit mode for a second. Want to go to vertex mode, select this vertex, turn off the proportional editing and then press G and X and pull it out like that. Right, so that looks great. Maybe we can add some supporting loops. So again, go back to edit mode, Ctrl R here, one click and then move it closer to the middle like that. And then Ctrl R on the other side, one click and then move it closer to the middle like that. And then click again. And now we have a nice little middle for our leaf. Right, let's go to side view with 3 on your numpad. Press R to rotate and rotate it a little bit like that. Front view, R to rotate and then G and Z to move it somewhere up like that. So that looks great. Now I'm going to select everything, my whole cherry with the eyes and the mouth. Press G and move it somewhere like that. And let's just check why far away. I'm gonna hide my leaf for a second with H. Select my cherry again with everything. Hopefully it selected the mouth as well. Okay, press G and then move it here. So that's great. Let's go back to front view. Zoom in a little bit and press R to rotate it a little bit like that. Alt H to bring my leaf back and I deselect the leaf with holding down Shift. And my cherry, I'm just going to position it like that and then press Shift D to duplicate and move it to the other side and just R to rotate it like this. G and Z just to pull it up a little bit. I can also select everything and just press R to rotate a little bit. That's fine. Now, the last thing I've done, I added a little podium and I added a background. So select everything, G and Z to move it up. Shift right click underneath them. Shift A to add, mesh, cylinder. Let's change the vertices to 12. Press S to scale on the Z, make it nice and flat. And S to scale, Shift Z to exclude the Z axis and make it a bit bigger. And then G and Z to pull it up here. And then just select my cherries, G and Z, and bring them down like that. Now, click back on the cylinder, Ctrl A, apply the scale, tab into edit mode, 2 to go to edge mode, Alt, click on one of these edges, and then Shift Alt click one of these edges, press Ctrl B, and you want to add the nice sharp bevel like that with 2 extra edge loops. Or 3. Let's tab back into object mode. Ctrl 3 to add the subdivision surface modifier. Change the render level to 3. Right click, shade smooth. So that's great. Let's just go to top view for a second. G and Z. I think I actually want to make it a little bit thicker. So S to scale on the Z a little bit like that. And then G and Z to bring it up. Now select everything, go to front view, press G and Z to move it above the x-axis like that. Shift A to add, mesh, plane, and this is going to be my floor. S to scale it up nice and big. Go to top view with numpad 7 and just zoom out a bit. G and Y and move it backwards. Ctrl A, apply the scale, tab into edit mode, and then Ctrl R to do a loop cut right in the middle. Then select this edge go to side view with 3 on your numpad, press G and lift it up to a 90 degrees like that. Select this edge now, press Ctrl B to bevel, add some extra bevels to it. That looks great. And then just tap back into object mode, right click, shade smooth. So that's my scene done. Let's go to the shading workspace and I'll just optimize my screen by joining these two areas and joining these two areas. I'm pulling this out. Here, I'm going to go to rendered view. At the moment, it's all dark, but we will fix that in a second. Now, click on the render properties. If you're using Eevee, turn on ray tracing, but I'm going to use cycles and I'm going to use my GPU. I'll click on denoise and set my time limit to 4. And now, first of all, I want to add an HDRI. So I get my HDRIs from polyhaven.com, where you can download free HDRIs. So let's go to this drop-down menu and change it to the world shader. Zoom out a little bit. And first of all, I'm going to press Shift-A to add texture, environment texture, pop it here next to the background node, plug it in, color to color, click on open, and I have downloaded this White Studio 02 HDRI, and I'm just going to double click on it and open it. So it's nice and bright, but I'm going to bring down the strength to 0.8. So you can see some shadows as well. Right, that's pretty much all I've done to the background. We do have a background, so we don't have to worry about the HDRI. That's not gonna be in our render. So go back to the object shader and we can start straight away with the background. So go here, add the new material, bring up the roughness to 1, and I chose a turquoise color. You can choose any color you want, that's fine. This is the color code I used for my prototype, so it's nice and bright. And for the podium or stand, whatever you want to call it, add the new material, pull up the roughness, base color, change it to this or whatever you want. I wanted to go with this creamy pastel yellow color. Right, for the cherries, let's click on them, add the new material and just choose a color. Any color on the red side is fine. You can even make it blue if you want to. I have a color code, which is this one. So that looks great. And then I'll just click on my other cherry and shift click on the one I colored. Ctrl L, link materials. And now that I link them, I'm going to bring down the roughness to about 0.3. So we want our cherries to be nice and shiny. Even a little bit more. 0.2, that's fine. Right, click on the leaf, add the new material, bring up the roughness a little bit. Not all the way though. I realized I haven't named my materials, but that's fine. This is the color code I used. I'm just going to call this one leaf. Make sure that you do name your materials, just so you know which one is which. And then click on the stem, add a new material, call it stem. Go to the base color, and add the green color somewhere around here. It's fine. Right, and then just click on this eye, add the new material, call it eye black. Bring down this slider to almost black, and that's fine. And just click on this eye, this eye, this eye, and then the black one last. Ctrl L, link materials. And you can bring up the roughness a little bit, even all the way. We don't want it to be too reflective. Then click on the mouth, and from this drop down, choose eye black, and on this one as well. So that's it. After that, I went back to the layout workspace, clicked on my camera, and go to the rendered view. Lock my camera and just basically set up how I want to render out my final image. So I think something like that looks good. Go to the render properties and let's set a color management. So this is where you set your contrast. And I went with the AGX punchy, but you can go with filmic or standard. That's fine. I actually quite like this standard right now as well. With medium high contrast. That's fine. Let's go to top view. And what we want is to add the light. So shift right click somewhere around here. Shift A to add light, area light. Go to side view with 3 on your numpad and press R to rotate it and rotate it at your cherries. Go to top view and rotate it again. Let's have a look from camera view. Let's scale it up just a little bit. Press G and move it closer. Make it stronger, so let's make it about 50 watts, 60 watts, should be all right. Pull down the exposure just a little bit and change the color to something like a green. You can also press G and Z to lift it up a little bit. Just make sure it's pointing at your cherries. I think I might just change the power a little bit more to around 100 maybe. That looks good. And just press G and Y to bring it closer and just rotate it like that. Let's have a look now. Maybe G and X. And I might just go back to my color management and set it to AGX punchy. That's much better. And now let's go to top view, press Shift D to duplicate this light, put it here, or to rotate it, move it behind the cherries somewhere here. And I want to turn this light into a disc light. Let's go back to camera view, and maybe this light I'll also turn into a disc light. And I think I'm going to change the spread to 90 degrees on both lights, so it's not as sharp. So here you can change it, and now you can see it doesn't reflect on the floor. Now this light though, I want it to be more on this side color-wise, so a warmer purple pink color like that, and maybe just bring it down a little bit. Place it in the center. I mean, these are just the final touches. It's absolutely up to you what lights you want to use and what colors you want to use and how you want to set your camera. And then I think I just want to do one more thing. Go back to my shading workspace, click on my cherries and bring down the roughness a little bit more to about 0.1516. Go back to the layout workspace and now go to the render tab or press F12 and render image. And that's it. Our image is done. Go to your image, save, name it Cherries, final render, or whatever name you want to add it, and save as image. So that's it. If you enjoyed this tutorial, click on like and subscribe to help my channel grow, and I will see you in the next tutorial.